What is up YouTube, and welcome to this The Boys Season 2 deleted scenes video and also some Season 3 updates. So Season 2 was a superb sophomore season for The Boys and easily one of the best shows of the year. Although we've got WandaVision and Mandalorian coming up next, I don't think that they are going to top The Boys Season 2. However, with everything on film or TV, there were quite a few deleted scenes which we will be discussing today. There will be spoilers for The Boys Season 2 and predictions for Season 3, so if you don't want to be spoilt, then please do click off now. So if you enjoyed the video, please do consider dropping a like, as it does help us out massively with the YouTube algorithm, and subscribe with notifications on if you want more from us. Now, our first scene is a tender moment with a Mother's Milk who seems to be very underused in this show. I really do like him, and the road trip he had with Starlight and Huey was some of the best scenes we've had. And this was a scene that was actually cut from Season 2, Episode 4. As he works on the dollhouse he's actually building for his daughter. He's dusting and tidying it and trying to make it absolutely perfect. But as he just finishes, it cuts out to see him in the safe house with the rest of criminals and things like that. It literally shows us his thoughts and his desires to get back home, and using this as a coping mechanism as he wants to return so badly, like he did at the end of the season, and he passes it over to one of the criminals in the safe house. And it's a real shame that we never got to see more of him or learn more of what makes him really tick. But hopefully we learn more of that next season, as the mission is kind of sort of over, but it's not, because Homelander wants some revenge. We'll discuss that in a bit. Now, also in the same episode, we have a cutscene with Kimiko. She had a burst of story at the start of the season with her brother conveniently arriving back in the country. We would have had a tender moment with a mouse that would have tied more into her backstory, which is a real shame, as I would have liked to see more of her, and I feel after her brother's death she got a bit more of a personality, and I adored it when she went straight for the RPG when they decided to take down Homelander straight on. However, she hints it may return in Season 3, which would be very cool considering that she's not only still on the run, and the fact that the scene of Homelander shooting his load off the skyscraper from last season, which was actually a better fit for this season, which shows his mental decline, and that was actually cut from last season. A very explicit scene was him absolutely vigorously beating his meat. Yes, it's something which I can never unsee. Ugh. Now, we also had a great scene with A-Train and the fallout of him being booted from the Seven. Of course, the Seven is the be-all and end-all of being a soup, and with it comes gigantic monetary remuneration. And hopefully in Season 3, we will start to see some of the other teams like the G-Men, Payback, Teenage Kicks, absolutely all of it, because they were all featured. And of course, much like other comic book stories, there are an absolute plethora of absolute crazy teams. However, the Seven is the one that gives you a lot of money, and A-Train is in a huge amount of debt, and we saw him go to his financial advisor, and he even had to sell Prince's guitar, which he couldn't play. But it was a sign of his decline in wealth, which would only be exacerbated by being kicked from the cash cow itself. Now, we had a scene in Season 2 where, like I said, he meets his financial advisor, who informs him that he only has $240,000. And yes, that seems like a lot to you and me, and we learn he is actually paid $40 million a year to be a part of the Seven. That is a ridiculous amount of money, but he's deep in debt with a staff of over 24 and even a Richard Branson style island he's never actually visited, bleeding his money dry. I think this should have been kept in to add more weight to why he is actually in need of the Church of the Collective, even though he thinks they're upper nutballs, and is desperate to ruin Stormfront and get back onto the Seven. Now, one cutscene as well during the infiltration of Sage Grove saw that Love Sausage not only strangle Double M, but in a cutscene, poor Frenchie had to bite the gigantic appendage itself. I guess that can be saved for when Love Sausage actually returns, as the show's creator has hinted that he will indeed return after only being knocked out by Kimiko. As well as that, the show's creators have confirmed that Stormfront is indeed not dead, and she is to live out her days as her worst nightmare, something that she absolutely hates. And it seems like they're going to go with the same story with Lamplighter in the comics. Whereas Lamplighter was killed, he lived on as a Compound V zombie, whereas here, it seems like Stormfront will have that story going forward. Now, Homelander in Season 3 will also be let off the leash as a homicidal maniac, so expect a lot of revenge for him, and I think a lot of people are going to be very, very alert that Homelander wants to take them out. However, should he, Maiev will release the footage of him absolutely going crazy on the plane and causing it to crash and everyone to absolutely perish in a fireball of fury. And, well, if that releases, no one will ever love him. That's something he really wants. But one scene we will never see is Homelander knocking boots with Soldier Boy, as Homelander kept tricking him into sleeping with him as a test to join the Seven, as Soldier Boy is so naive. But there will be a hero-gasm scene, which is where all of the supes go for a gigantic, massive orgy to absolutely let loose. And this was, funny enough, this I can't keep a straight voice, I guess, with this, but in the comics, they disappear. They say, yes, we're off to go and fight these aliens who have appeared in the stratosphere, only for them to go and absolutely go crazy. Yeah, it's a funny one. And that's what we'll see in Season 3. We will be seeing that, the show's creator has confirmed. And lastly, we had a 5-minute scene of Billy after he left the restaurant waking up, and at the start when we saw him, he was absolutely his memory wiped, couldn't remember where his wife was. And he goes to a friend, an ex-colleague, an ex-soldier, to go and find his wife, only for his friend to actually dob him in, leading to a gruesome encounter right up to the moment when Frenchie called him to rejoin the team. Now, I will actually put that in the description. If I remember, I will put that in the description, because it's a great scene. It's 5 minutes. And I'll try and remember to link all of these as well. I can't put them all in and show them in a video for copyright, but there are other people who show them. So let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know what videos you want from us on The Boys, because I'm still hyped. The hype is still there for me very heavily for The Boys, and it is for you guys, as you seem to be showing some love on the videos. So like I said, drop a like down below and do subscribe with notifications on, and I'll see you soon, and goodbye.